Welcome to Joyful Jen Yoga. Today's practice is a restorative class, but with very few props. So the idea is that anybody would be able to do this at home or even in a hotel room or anywhere where all you really have is a blanket or a towel, so you don't have to bring any props with you. I have my blanket that I use for yoga, but you could use any sort of blanket or towel folded up. So we'll begin seated. And just allow your hands to travel to heart. Let your eyes soften close. Feel a comfortable seat. Adjust your body in any way you need to. Usually when we practice restorative yoga, we prop our bodies up with bolsters and blocks and blankets, but sometimes that's simply not our reality. So honoring that, but still taking time to let our body restore and revive, helping to build our body's immune response. Hanging out in that rest and digest instead of that fight or flight space. Let your eyes flutter open, release your hands down, and we'll take a few gentle movements before we come into some longer holds. On your breath in, lift your heart, open your chest. On exhale, round, look toward your navel. Inhale, lift, open up through your heart. Exhale, round it in. 3 more with your breath. When you've completed all 5 seated cat-cows, go ahead and switch the cross of your legs if you're sitting cross-legged. If you're not, be comfortable in whatever seat you're working with, legs extended, kneeling, whatever works. Inhale, stretch your arms up. And on exhale, twist gently to the right. Let your left hand rest on your knee. Right hand supports behind you. Steady breath in, steady breath out. Allowing your movement and your breath to be slow and mindful. Looking forward, arms sweep up, and exhale, twist to the left. Right hand, left thigh. I don't know why Boston's put herself in timeout, but she's staring in the corner. I don't know what's going on. Maybe she's mad at me. You're making too many videos. Look forward, unwind, arms stretch up. And then take your right hand over to the right, left arm stretches up. A nice side body stretch before we find ourselves in a still movement. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, left hand to the left, right arm reaches. Take another inhale. And exhale, draw yourself back up and pause. Take your blanket that you have, or your towel, whatever works. And we're going to open it up, depending on what size your blanket is. And just try to create a roll with your blanket. That's maybe 3 or 4 inches in diameter. And we'll take that underneath our shoulder blades. We'll lower our body down over that bolster, over the blanket, letting your shoulder blades rest right at the base of your shoulder blades, rest on the blanket. Arms can open up like a T or a cactus shape, but do try to have your arms over the blankets instead of resting your arms on or under. That's not going to feel as good. So as you kind of wiggle and adjust, Find a placement that would work for your legs, maybe extended out like a shavasana, or legs could bend more like a constructed rest pose. And let your eyes soften closed. Start to embrace the practice of turning inward. Notice if, as you come into this first still pose, where is your mind? Can you invite your mind to focus on your inhales and on your exhales? Maybe you begin the practice of counting your breath. Inhaling 1, exhaling 1, inhaling 2, exhaling 2. We'll be here for about 20 breaths. Notice if your mind is still counting your breath or if it's wandered off. Bring it back to the practice. If your legs are extended, go ahead and slowly begin to bend your knees. Walk your feet in and then let your knees knock over to whichever side you'd like. Pause. And then use your hands to lift your body up just enough to slide that blanket out from underneath you and return onto your back. Pause for a moment here, hugging your knees into your chest. Perhaps a little rock side to side just to notice. Notice the opening around your heart space, your upper back. If nothing else, try to have that feeling of open heart. Being open and receptive. Compassionate, and then gently roll to whichever side you'd like. Use your hands and we'll work our way up to a seat just long enough to prepare for our next pose. So we're going to come into a Supta Baddha Konasana or a reclined butterfly pose. Now, this is always lovely if you have a bolster to lay back on, but since we're attempting to do this without a lot of props, what I do recommend is taking your blanket, placing it on top of your ankles with your feet together, and then scooping the little tails of the blanket under so that as you open your legs out, there's a little support support for the lower legs. And then we'll lower our way back down onto our backs, allowing your body to feel supported while inviting that openness through your hips. Hands can rest on your belly so that you can stay maybe a little bit more focused on breath, or arms could rest out at your sides. Come back to the practice of counting your breath. Inhale 1, exhale 1, inhale 2, exhale 2. Let your breath stay steady, feeling each inhale, press your belly into your hands. Allow your mind to stay very curious about your breath. About 20 more inhales and exhales here. Invite a practice of consciously softening the muscles of your body as you focus your mind on your breath. Notice if your mind is still focused on counting your breath. About 5 more inhales and exhales. Gently begin to reach toward the outsides of your thighs and start to help your knees to point upright. You can slide that blanket off to the side. Walk your feet as wide as the mat and just let your knees start to knock slowly to the left, slowly to the right. Pause in a constructive rest pose with your feet wide, your knees knocked in towards center. Notice how your hips feel, how your back body feels. And gently heel toe your feet toward one another. Roll to whichever side you'd like. Use your hands, make your way back up to a seat just to transition. Notice how your body feels. We'll take our blanket and place it underneath our knees. So we won't be here too terribly long, just like our other shapes. We're not holding them for very long, just long enough to start to invite that relaxation response. So place your knees and your ankles on the blanket. Know that you can always kind of fold up your blanket in a way to support your knees if you need to. Don't worry if your hips don't touch your heels. Start to walk forward. I like the option of having my forehead rest on my forearms or my hands. If you want to sweep your arms back behind you in child's pose, that's a perfect option as well. Do what makes sense. If you want to extend your arms out, you can do that as well. Just be sure that your forehead is resting somewhere. We'll take another 20 breaths here in our child's pose. And as you breathe in this child's pose, notice if when you start to count your breath, can you feel each inhale, how your belly presses onto your thighs? Maybe on exhale, there's this gentle lift away from your thighs. Can you begin to consider breathing in to your mid and low back? In your child's pose, can you feel your whole rib cage expand with each breath in? Draw back in towards center on every breath out. 10 more steady breaths here. Offer your body another breath or two here in your child's pose. And then we'll slowly begin to extend our legs back behind us so that we end up lowering down our hips, our belly. The front of our legs are on the earth, extended completely. You can cross your elbows, you can cross your forearms and rest your head again on your forearms. It's almost like a little crocodile pose, but allow this to be quite restful for your body. Adjust. 10 steady breaths here. Counting your inhales, counting your exhales. Allow your body another breath or so here. And then begin to bend your knees. And again, a little windshield wiper, side to side, feet to the right, feet to the left. And then press your way up to all fours, just so that you can take your blanket again. We'll make our way onto our backs, coming into a twist. So I fold my blanket up relatively thick, and I'm going to place it in between my knees. You could also take your blanket and place it onto the ground. So whatever it takes to make your body feel comfortable. And so lowering down, being sure that you have your blanket accessible. Remember, it can go on the ground or it can go in between your thighs if that feels good. We'll wiggle our bum over to the right side of our mat and then let the knees move over toward the left. Arms can open out to the side. You could look over the right shoulder if you'd like. Return to counting your breath with particular curiosity paid to how your body feels breathing in a twist. Do you notice any restriction? Could you breathe a little bit deeper into your rib cage? Returning to counting your breath. If your mind has gone elsewhere, remember you can always adjust your shape or your prop. In some of these longer holds, you could begin to scan and notice if you're holding tension in your jaw or in your brow. Maybe soften a little bit through the muscles of your face. About 5 more breaths on this side. Relaxing your arms down at your sides can help your knees to point back up to the sky, and just pause for a moment, evening out your hips and your pelvis. And then hopping your hips over to the left side of your space, supporting your knees with your blanket as they drop over to the right. Opening your arms out to the side. Again, your gaze could be up toward the sky. Maybe your head could tilt a little to the left. Softening your eyes closed if that feels safe. Allow your body to get heavier and heavier. Releasing here. Notice if your mind comes right back to counting your breath, or if your mind travels somewhere else completely. See if you can bring it back to counting every inhale and exhale. allow your body about 5 more deep breaths here. Counting your inhales, counting your exhales, perfectly aware. Gently begin to release your hands down toward your sides, helping your knees back up to center, adjusting your body for a moment to feel that sense of neutral in your spine. And we'll make our way towards Shavasana. If you want to find a happy baby or any other shape that would feel good before we completely relax, feel free to do so. And then when your body feels like you've moved in all the ways you needed to, allow your legs to extend down, arms can reach out to the sides. You could place your blanket underneath your knees or even over your body, especially if you've started to feel chilly from not moving too much. Stay in your Shavasana, allowing your body to continue to drop down deeper and deeper into a space of relaxation, feeling the back body get heavy. Let your body drop deeper and deeper into relaxation. Noticing your body get heavier and heavier. Relaxing every muscle, letting your bones feel heavy. Imagine your whole body melting toward the earth. No need for tension. Let it all drop away. Allow yourself to simply be in the moment, to be with yourself, turning deeper and deeper inward to a sense of peace and calm that's only within you, that's always with you. A place that you can continue to tap into even when you get up and off your mats, when you go back into your daily life. Slowly begin to bring yourself back to this moment, feeling a little wiggle of your fingers reawakening your body. Inhale your arms up overhead. Stretch your arms long. Take a full body breath in and a big ha out your mouth. Hug your knees into your chest. Thank your body for all that it does for you. Roll to whichever side you'd like. Make your way back up to a seat. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, hands down to Heart Anjali Mudra. Bowing your forehead to your fingertips in gratitude. I wish you all abundant joy. Be well.